Yes, sir. It's the FCS CheckDown. Stop messing with your camera, Coach. What's up?
There we go.
There we go. Hey, Nathan McCreary, Coach Rod Jackson. I had my readers on. I'm trying to go over these statistics, Coach. Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, we got some good games.
Yeah.
We got some good games, Coach. I see chat is popping off. What's up, Charlie and Ron and Stephen McKenzie jumping in. By the way, Stephen McKenzie's a moderator now, Coach, so he's got some power and authority. We'll see how he uses it. With great power comes great responsibilities. So
you couldn't have picked a better one.
yeah, so that means if he sees somebody in there being rude and asking us to take our shirts off or something like that, he can get those guys out of there. All right, so listen, we're going to jump right into this thing. Brandon said, texted me earlier, Brandon is producing all the high school football championships here in Georgia. So his plate is absolutely plumb full. And he literally texted me, he's like, real quick, do you need this? Do you need that? Blah, blah, blah. By the way, my dog's barking. Because he and I are calling a championship game down at Mercedes-Benz Dome on Tuesday night. So if you live in the Atlanta area, you can tune in to me and Brandon and I calling the high school football championship between Hapeville and Carver Columbus. Hateful Charter, so should be a good one. Thanks, Steve McKenzie. Yeah, remind everybody, God, we hit 200, Coach. We hit 200.
That. Yeah. I think it's 212, 213, 4, somewhere in there. We're on the way to 500 somehow.
Yeah, we're on the way. Well, you know what we're on the way is we're going to be going over these games, previewing these games, and then doing our picks and letting the chat do our picks as well. It looks like Charlie's already doing his Cats versus Jacks, Grizz versus Jacks. Never seen that before. Yeah. It's got a lot of Jacks in the house, so we'll see how it goes. All right, let's go ahead and get into this mess. I'm fired up and ready to go. Let's talk about this very first game, which is going to be the Celebration Bowl. Should be a great one. South Carolina State and Prairie View A&M. We've talked about Prairie View and South Carolina State a good bit this year, Coach, because of their record and how they're doing. It's an HBCU matchup. It's considered their national championship, so it should be a great one. Bulldogs led by veteran coach Janice Berry. They rely on the run game, a strong defense and kicking game. South Carolina's kicker Nico Canvalis-Alti is a key difference maker. He's getting national attention, so watch out. If it comes down to it, South Carolina State may have the advantage. For the Panthers, first-year head coach Tremaine Jackson doing an unbelievable job. That offense is running smoothly. Keep an eye on Chase Bingman, who has been awesome there for them. Coach, just real quick, thought about the Celebration Bowl.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Look, it looks like it's going to be a well-played, well-coached ball game. Prairie View, goodness gracious, what a season, Coach Tremaine. What'd you say, Tremaine Jackson?
Yep.
Yeah, he has done a fantastic job with his team. But let me tell you, South Carolina State, always tough in this game right here. I can't wait. And I want to see what the attendance looks like at this game.
Yeah, Austin's already coming in saying, please pick against Coach Carthel. Well, we'll see how it goes. Motor Stables checking in also. Looks like chat wants to do the go ahead and do the picks, Coach. So let's go ahead and get into this. Okay. I'm going to tell you, for me, South Carolina State shows up. This is a team that, you don't talk a whole lot about. You hit the Jackson States and FAMUs, and all of a sudden South Carolina State shows up in the Celebration Bowl consistently. Now, they lost last year in the Celebration Bowl. That's kind of you're not late at all, Brandon. We're just getting started. It's going to be a short one, too, because we just a few games, and then me and Sweet Elizabeth are doing some Christmas stuff. We're fired up about that. But South Carolina State shows up. They're pissed off. They lost last year. Prairie View A&M, grinding team. They went through the SWAC and have earned a championship spot, Coach. But I just think South Carolina State shows up. So give me the Bulldogs of South Carolina State to win this Celebration Bowl. I'd love to see Prairie View. They've never won the Celebration Bowl, Coach. So who you got here?
I'd love to pick Prairie View, but my head says to go with South Carolina State. They're a complete team. They've been here before. Shouldn't be much of a shock to them. But you know what? Kudos to them guys from Prairie View. I expect them to come up and put on one whale of a fight. So it's going to be a good game. But give me South Carolina State.
Yeah, it looks like the chat is going with Prairie View A&M, so that's always makes me nervous. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good one. It's obviously nationally televised. It's going to be at noon on ABC on Saturday, so make sure you got your popcorn ready for that one. It is the Celebration Bowl. Should be a really, really fun game to watch. All right, up next, let's go ahead and get into our Friday night matchup for the FCS Championship. It is Stephen F. Austin, the number 7 seed, going up against Montana State. ESPN, as Coach Carthel called it, ESPN 1, 9 p.m. Listen, red hot Stephen F. Austin. And don't call him SF Austin. He does not like that. He's talked about that.
Get that right.
You got to get that right. Stephen F. Austin, the Lumberjacks, of course, led by Coach Carthel. They've been relentless on defense. Coach, their offense is anchored by star quarterback Sam Vidlac, who's playing well. Jarrell Wembley's got 9 rushing touchdowns, and star wide receiver Keelan Harris has got 10 receiving touchdowns. This is a team that can jump on you. In the first half, they love scoring a lot of points. SFA has never beaten Montana State, though. The last time they played is in 2012. They're 0-4 against the Bobcats. Of course, the Bobcats are coming in with Brent Vegan. Well, you think he's pissed off? You think he wants to get Julius Davis back on the field and see what happens there? Punishing run game. All-American freshman Adam Jones is a sophomore now. He adds to what Julius Davis brings. You also got that dual threat freshman quarterback in Justin Lamson. He is number 1 in the FCS in completion percentage. Has only thrown 2 interceptions all season long. Coach, in my opinion, SFA, in order to win this game, they got to make Montana State one-dimensional. And I think they got the defense to do it. Montana State relies on that run game. SFA, number 2 rushing, number 2 defense in the FCS, number 3 against the run. And they've got Bugs Mortimer. 4 special teams touchdowns, Coach Jackson. Yeah. That's the kind of thing you need to win this one if you're SFA. What you thinking here?
Well, I hope that Coach Vegan jacks up his running back by the neck right before the ball game, so he runs angry. Yeah. Listen, SFA's got probably, if not the best defense left in the tournament. They got one of the better defenses in the tournament. I think the key is going to be getting them turned over. SFA is going to need a few more offensive possessions. Now, I think they are going to get them turned over. I just don't think they're going to get them turned over enough. Give me the Bobcats in a close one.
Okay. Looks like the chat is going well. Austin's really active in the chat, which he's banging that axe. I got to get that right. But it looks like the Bobcats are the fans' pick. If I'm going to pick an upset, this is the pick for me. SFA, Coach Carthel, Sam Vidlac, veteran quarterback, the special teams play. I just think on the road, I think it's just too much, Coach Jackson. I think it's too much. Give me Montana State at home. Brent Vegan, 2 amazing coaches, by the way. Give me Montana State in this one. I think it's going to be a close one, like you said, and it's not going to shock me one bit if SFA does win. SFA didn't cancel. Austin said they did beat him in 2013, but the SLC canceled the game or did play him. I'm not sure.
They didn't count.
It maybe not a count. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. But Montana State for me, and I'd love to see SFA. Smart man, Nathan. Yeah, Coach Jackson picks against us. We'll win now.
I love SFA needs to get – they got to get 3 turnovers.
Yeah.
They got to get them turned over 3 times. If they get them turned over 3 times, I think SFA wins. I think they only get them turned over twice, though.
Steven's asking for more information on that cancel game. I love SFA in the Southland, but I've got to go with the Bobcats as McKenzie in the chat. All right. Up next, it's another good one. Villanova and Tarleton. This one's in Stephenville, Texas. Coach Jackson, you've been there. You know about all the Tylers that are there dancing around. It's obviously a high-stakes game here in the playoffs. It's the number 12 seed versus the number 4 seed Tarleton. This is a Saturday afternoon game, Coach Jackson. They've never met before. Very, very cool. Villanova enters the game on a 10-game win streak. They've got that coach, Mark Fronte, who's fantastic. Shane Hartzell was a name we heard all Saturday for Villanova. What a job he's done on defense. For Tarleton, they're led by the winningest coach in their program, Todd Whitten. He counters with an explosive offense. Victor Gabalis, big threat Marquez Williams, with a Texan lead the nation in forced turnovers and the number one offense for the Texans. Coach Jackson, I'm going Tarleton State all the way in this one. I really believe it's a favorable thing for Villanova, but I think Tarleton's going to jump all over the Wildcats early, and I don't think they're going to be able to recover. What you thinking?
Well, I think Villanova is the more seasoned team. They're not going to get shook up by that atmosphere. So I think Villanova comes out and plays well early. Now, the way I understand it, it's dollar beer and dollar hot dog day over at the stadium. So they're going. Tarleton's got an opportunity to shine their lights during during an important game. I don't think that. Listen. Offensively, Villanova's got a couple of challenges, even though they scored 30-plus odd points the other day, but they hadn't seen a defense quite like Tarleton.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be close. It would not surprise me if Villanova doesn't get out early and Tarleton walks them back down. But give me the Texans in another close one. I think they pull it out probably in the last part of the fourth quarter.
Okay, I'm a little bit different. I think they probably stomp on them in that first half and don't let up. And so I think this one might be the biggest one-sided matchup, just in my opinion, of the matchup. So, all right, I think Chat's gone Tarleton. I've gone Tarleton. You've also gone Tarleton here. We'll get Brandon's picks as well. Hopefully he can join us here.
Brandon's going Villanova. He's already told me.
Did he really? I know you
No.
should get out of here. Yeah, he's going Rhode Island.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Up next, Coach Jackson, South Dakota versus Montana Grizzlies. 3:30 p.m. on ABC. South Dakota Coyotes, number 11 team, as the 11 seed versus the number 3 seed. First year head coach Travis Johansson looks to continue that run into the playoffs. Aiden Bauman throwing deep to Lorenzo Fenner, by the way, who's the number 1 wide receiver in the FCS. Oh, LJ Phillips, the number 1 running back in the FCS. They're loaded on offense. They're going to be facing a formidable opponent in the Grizz. We talk a lot about their offense, but their defense is pretty good too, Coach Jackson. Bobby Howe has got that team playing well. They're playing at home. Kelly Ayotte and star running back Eli Gilman are going to be tough to defend, but I think it's going to come down to defenses if my calculations are correct. What are you thinking here, Coach?
I think it comes down to quarterback play. And let me tell you, Ayotte is on fire. I think South Dakota puts up a formidable defense against the Grizz. I think the Grizz put up a formidable defense against South Dakota, but I think the Grizz got a little bit more on offense, and I do believe they got a little bit better special team game. I do believe they'll get a little bit better play out of their quarterback. South Dakota's quarterback been a little up and down this year. So give me the Grizz, and I don't think it's close.
Okay. I think they're riding a high. South Dakota's riding a high. They went out to Mercer. That's kind of like that off conference game. It seemed like they put up a lot of points. But yeah, I'm with you, Coach. I think the quarterbacks are going to be important. It's not going to be a high-scoring game, in my opinion. I'm looking at maybe like a 28-20, maybe even 24-17 kind of football game. But give me Montana. It looks like everybody in the chat is with Montana as well. No shocker there. South Dakota, they didn't really back in, but they were on a little bit of a roller coaster on the season. So we'll see what happens. All right. The final game we're going to pick is Illinois State and UC Davis. Oh, boy. 5 p.m. ESPN Plus. Illinois State, that huge upset over NDSU. They're not ranked. They did not get a top 16 seed. Illinois State didn't. They're playing number 8 seeded UC Davis, who had the big win against Rhode Island. But I think they got a favorable seed there facing Rhode Island at home, who Rhode Island was a CAA championship. But I like to see the Aggies go across the country. But such is life. Illinois State picked up the win against NDSU. They've earned a chance to go out to UC Davis. The Aggies host this one. Second-year head coach Tim Plow and that amazing mustache. He's bringing that dynamic freshman Caden Pennick and that spectacular offense versus the Redbirds. Huge upset for the Redbirds. They're riding that wave, Coach Jackson. Really, really impressed with this Redbirds. Rittenhouse. All those names that we talk about. You talking about how good they were. 5 turnovers, having to overcome a 14-point deficit. If they didn't have those 5 turnovers, I think you said on Monday night, it could have been a big blowout for Illinois State over at North Dakota State. They got to be riding high on this one. I'm going with the hot hand. Illinois State on the road to defeat UC Davis. I had lots of questions about UC Davis, how they start the game. I think Illinois State's coming in hot. Give me Illinois State Redbirds to punch their ticket into the semifinals, Coach Jackson. What do you think?
Now, see, you said earlier you've already picked your particular upset, and this one's actually this one's actually going to be mine. I think the losers got to shave their mustache.
I like that. I like that that challenge.
Yeah, I think again, UC Davis got a freshman quarterback. They also got a lot going on. I don't know what's going on academically with them or however they're have the semesters laid out, but they got to move out of their dorms tonight, or sometime before the end of the week. They got a lot else to concentrate on besides the ball game. I guarantee you that Illinois State's going to be locked in. So I believe they make the trip. I believe they get off the bus. I believe they whoop a little tail, and I believe they get back on the bus, get back on, and get back to normal Illinois with a victory. So give me Illinois State.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of people going Illinois State. By the way, I'm not so sure I consider this an underdog. I mean, you just beat North Dakota State. UC Davis, I mean, a lot of people didn't feel like they should have been seeded. And, they got an 8 home seed. They're very, very favorable. California team, I think that could have been some television money changing hands there. I don't know.
Could have been. Could have been.
I don't know. So let me just look at the chat real quick. UC Davis. Caden Pennick is ascending, no doubt about it. Okay, so they look like they're going to go UC Davis in the chat. So I am marking down UC Davis. We'll get Brandon's picks as well, but what a weekend of football, Coach Jackson, we have. I mean, this has been what a great season.
Yeah.
After dark and travel, Kobe Kluth says it's going to be a tough football game. That's the challenge. You're on the road. You're coming flying out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. But it's going to be starting Friday night. Just be in front of the TV. What's your plans this weekend for watching these football games?
To figure out where the biggest spot on my couch that I can get my big broad behind in the middle and get my remote controls going and just flip flop from game to game to game.
Yeah, me too. And with Christmas around, it's like I got so much stuff to do, but priorities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to pick priorities. Chad, you guys have been unbelievable. We went ahead and surpassed the 200, as we mentioned earlier. We're on our way to 500. Really, really excited about it. Can't believe that you guys have been such great supporters of ours. We got so many nice comments too we've had some not so nice comments, but we'll take them all. We'll take them all. But 200 subscription has been unbelievable. Just for a little startup, FCS. The reason we did this is because FCS was not getting the coverage that we felt like they deserved. If we can bring some entertainment and bring some insight, we've all been around football, we've all been around broadcasting, and just love the game. And this is what we get, and this is why we started. And the chat has added so much to it. It's just been unbelievable, Coach. We're gonna wrap this thing up. I really don't have anything else to say except for those games. I think I was like so excited for the game. I kind of ran through those, but I don't know what else is there to say. We're 20 minutes in, and we've wrapped through the games, Coach Jackson. So just kind of talk about your experience this year watching FCS football and being a part of the podcast, if you don't mind.
Well, you know what? It's been a blessing to be on the podcast. I just kind of joined on a humble a few years ago. Y'all guys were nice enough to let me come on here and talk a little bit. I think it's been a good relationship from
we
that point
recognize
forward.
the talent.
Well, I
We did.
mean, you know what? My wife did too. She made the right decision several years ago, and things worked out pretty good for her too.
Yeah.
Uh, as far as football this year, I am so I believe that there's been one. I believe that the FCS has elevated their positions. Okay,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and, I- and I
Yeah.
also believe that parity is catching up. So I think there's some excitement all around FCS football.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure to watch some of the teams grow. It's actually been a pleasure to hear about some of the teams that are putting money back into their
Yes.
programs. Montana State's about to add on to that big beautiful building they got. North Alabama's about to have another big, beautiful building on their campus. I know Eastern Kentucky's got some plans for their particular stadium. So I just think that the current state of FCS, what we thought a couple of years ago was just going to be in complete flux, is in a good spot right now. Good competition, and I'm looking forward to finally seeing somebody else besides North Dakota State up in that championship game. Um, here in a couple of weeks. And you know what? And I also need to say this: HBCU ball has come a long way.
Yes. Yeah.
Goodness
You-
gracious, I think the additions of some of the coaches that have come along, Coach Vic, Coach Jackson, FCS, HBCU FCS ball's come a long way.
And coach, and Zach McKinnell is a huge reason, in my opinion,
Yeah,
because of the coverage that he showed. He kind of did it the same way, bringing in guests, people that loved FCS
yeah,
football and HBCU football, and he did the broadcast and the interviews, and he just dove deep into the statistics and became the number one knowledgeable HBCU guy. And now
yep,
look at him, and he's on with Sports Illustrated, SI
yep,
Central. He does the FCS Edge
yep,
podcast, which is great. I watch every single week, and I give a lot of credit to Zach McKinnell and what he's done. Sam Herder is the guy for FCS football, and we appreciate all the stuff that he does.
yep.
I think Zach McKinnell for the HBCU has done an amazing job with what he's done in his coverage of the HBCU.
Yeah.
By the way, I mentioned that we're going to show a ChatGPT version of the of what it looks like. I just ran a. Sometimes they don't get it right. All right.
Mm.
Sometimes they don't get it right, Coach Jackson. Let me see. I'm going to get our screenshots in here. Get both of us on here. And all right, they didn't really spell this right, but
Oh my gosh.
I mean, but that is I
Yeah.
think it's still better than the logo they got. Honestly, I think they just somehow, some way, that's still a better. Oops, I was trying to fix your photo there. Still
Yeah.
better than what Prairie View has right now. Prairie View, still pronounced the same. Just drop the
Yeah.
W, add a cool looking Black Panther. What do you think?
I mean, it's better than lopsided letters just laying there. But again, I think there's some. I think there's still some room for improvement.
Yeah,
I believe with a purple logo with the. I think they could go more with a Black Panther type look. Something sleek
yeah,
or something like that. But again, that's better than what they got.
yeah.
Prairie Vi, uh, whatever.
Yeah, Prairie Vi.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
need our chat people to before we wrap up for the season. We got to get something going on so we can figure out who's got the best logos and who's got the worst
yeah, we
logos
do.
in FCS football.
And we're gonna have some time to do that because I think there's a little bit of a break before the national
Yeah,
championship. So we will have that. If you need a guest for SEO, Austin, we would love to have you on, and that's the reason we do the chat.
yeah,
I'm really fired up about all the people and the knowledge. I mean, Brandon Haddock's been on the show. What's up, Slime Drip X also, who has the worst logo currently in the playoffs? Is his question. Worst logo. I know who yours is. I'm gonna get yours is South Dakota. You don't like the South
Oh
Dakota
yeah,
logo.
yeah. That looks like Paw Patrol.
Yeah, worst logo in the playoffs right now is Tarleton.
Yeah, well,
Tarleton. That it's kind of like a tradition. All these schools they have the state of Texas outline, and they just put
yeah.
a letter on it. And that's kind of what they did, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Chat, who is your worst logo you got in the playoffs? We've got SFA, Montana State, Illinois State. And Illinois State's pretty close. South Dakota, Montana, not Montana State. Who am I missing? Villanova, Tarleton. What do you guys think in the chat real quick, and we'll wrap this sucker up. What we would like to, go ahead, Coach.
Well, I'll say this: the lamest part about Tarleton's logo is the size of it when you see it in person. It's only about 10 yards wide, and I've always thought everything's supposed to be bigger in Texas. And literally, it's just a lame ass little logo, state of Texas with a T on top of it. You would think they would have, I don't know, maybe a gigantic horse, gigantic cowboy, something like that. When you go to their stadium, I think they got a big statue of Big Cowboy on a horse out there. They ought to roll that out to midfield.
They actually have I'll try and pull it up here. They actually have a secondary logo that is a guy on a horse, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of funny looking. Let me see if I can. Not that guy. Maybe. Hang on. Let's see if I can open this and without opening a bunch of malware stuff.
Wow.
There he is. That's. I mean, if you remove the Texas off of it, it's not terrible. It's not terrible, right?
Yeah.
Secondary logo.
Yeah, again, but it ain't gonna be but about 10 yards wide, dude. Stretch whatever's going on with the right hand side of Texas is off a little bit. It's got to be further out, and instead of standing up like you just won an award at the county fair, have that horse move out there like he's going to do something.
He's fired up about something.
Right.
He's snarling horse.
Yeah. I can't say much about the Villanova V because that's all that is. But
well, their secondary logos. I mean, look at some of these logos that they've had. Oh boy,
it really looks like a pair of parachute pants that I had back in junior high school, just upside down.
Yeah, this guy, which they still use, is not very nice.
Yeah, that is.
All right, we could do this all day long. Look up our Texan Rider logo. Oh yeah, that's what we just did. All right, listen, we're gonna roll out of here. Coach Jackson, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, my experience is that I love every week we get a chance to talk just football.
Yeah.
The chat has been so unbelievable, and you just kind of figure out a couple of people they're going to join the show, and maybe you know them and get some friends to join and whatever. Yep. But we just got new friends, that love to talk FCS football, and it has been so much fun. And we look forward to growing it as this season continues and as the playoffs continue. So, final words before the weekend, Coach.
Just want everybody to have a blessed weekend, blessed holidays, and eat, drink, be merry, and enjoy some football this weekend.
Absolutely. Enjoy some football. For Coach Jackson, I'm Nathan McCreary. You guys go enjoy some football, and we look forward to seeing you likely Monday night. It could be a little change in schedule. We'll have to see. Actually, it might not be Monday night. We'll figure it out. Because we'll figure it out. We will let you know. We'll try and do it's either Sunday or Monday. Sunday may be a little easier, but we'll figure it out. All right. You guys have been awesome once again. This has been the FCS Checkdown. For Coach Ron Jackson, I'm Nathan McCreary. We'll see you. Have a great weekend, everybody. Appreciate it. Like and subscribe.